Hi, I'm here with Michael today, the White Wizard from the Sunshine Coast. We're here today to do a podcast with you, and we're talking about a few things that are going on worldwide at the moment. Take it away, Michael.
Thanks, Sharon. Fantastic. Wonderful, wonderful. So uh, let's just start with what's going on globally. So the Father Sun is still increasing his power, right? So we're getting more C-class flares, we're getting more M-class flares, and a few X-class flares. So as that increases, you'll see those people that feel energy will start to probably sleep less and want to eat less, right? Because they're ascending to the light, which means they're becoming more electrical. So for some people, what I call the way they feel is some people just have head power, Sharon, for example, and the people that have just head power will feel sort of a bit they may have ringing in their ears, they may feel like they feel strange. That's because they haven't got their whole body energy balanced, right? That's because mainly they expose just their head to the elements, right? Which means that they need to ground more and get their whole body with almost no clothes on or just, skimpy bathers on in the sun and the moon. And then it's like when you block a magnet in the middle, the magnet doesn't work properly. We're the same. If you have to think like a massive big magnet, and you have to pull your body north and south and more. You see, but again, people have the incorrect thoughts, Sharon, about taking on, and so much is going on as the wake people know in the world. You can't take on other things that we can't handle, right? So people shouldn't be taking on, you know, these things as a personal thing, because it can affect you physically, spiritually, and mentally. So what I'm trying to explain to people is to do good things locally, and to join with other good people locally to do good things. For example, we have a situation where the powers that be are trying us to change to a digital system, right? And what I'm saying to people is, sure, that's all well and good, but at the same time, I still feel there is a need for either like a barter system, or there's a need for some sort of value exchange, if you like. For example, I give you a massage, and you give me some, fish, for example, or some pottery or whatever things you're doing, right? So that could be another situation. Or another situation is where I used to cut sapphires. So say if I've still got a couple of sapphires left, or I've got, a small bit of silver I don't need anymore, I could swap, a piece of silver, which is now worth $69 an ounce, and then swap that to the value for some food, right? So that's, again, I don't need to use my digital system for that, right? So again, people can set that up locally. So it's that's not a hard and fast thing. But say for example, there was 10,000 locals that agreed that was going to be the new system they were doing, say in the local area, then I can't see a problem with that, right? So, and as I said, people are worrying, right? And I get it, right? People are worrying about their health, they're worrying about their finances, they're worrying about this, they're worrying about that. Well, people should worry less and love themselves more and love others more, and just be generous and kind, and help others as much as they can. So I want to also give people a special offer today, Sharon, if that's okay with you. And as I said to you in a few of my other podcasts, is um, I built and I finished that, and I started, I think 2021, I think I finished 2022, my Supernatural Enlightenment course. And again, I used to offer this to a few people for free, right? And then I realized they didn't value it. And I did some calculations just in my own mind, and I'm being serious when I say that I have so much energy now. I'm reacting to the electrical cables underneath my floorboards. I'm reacting to this phone. I'm reacting to everything, which is
Keep
just
going.
is what it is. It just means I'll live longer than children that are born tomorrow. So, and I'm not trying to be egotistical. I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be as honest as I can, as the sun shines in the day. So the course is 23 hours of videos on physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, transcendental, and enlightenment. And the investment fee I've got on the website is 2,880 Australian dollars. But I want to give people that hear this podcast today a special offer. And if they're interested, they can even pay me in two installments if that for them is permissible and okay for them, is $444 only, right? So 444. So that I think is a fair exchange, and then all I need is the email address, and they can log in, and as I said, I can transfer energy online. I can transfer energy just in thought from a photo, right? Because I can, and I can do those things now. But it's more so than that, Sharon. It's a matter of people being well and realizing that herb law is far more important than pharmaceutical drugs, for example. But again, there's so much money in the world that you've got all these rich oligarchs that are now trying to say, do this, do that. We are, going to take over the world. And if you've got, two or three powers that's saying they will be the new superpower, well, if they haven't got electromagnetic energy, then they haven't got real power, right? And there's power in the people. And people need to come back to people rather than being isolated in their own houses, is to get out, socialize with good other wise people, and to start to do good things, and to manifest their thoughts. Because when you really manifest things, that they happen in real in this dimension. So people need to believe it's a reality, and then if you believe that it's a reality, then it actually occurs. And when it occurs, they sort of may fall off their chair and go, wow, that really happened. Well, actually, it can actually happen, but you need to then manifest that. And these are the types of things, again, I teach people. Like, as I said, people don't know about the things about diet. People don't know that most people don't walk properly, Sharon. You're actually supposed to, when you walk backwards and you walk forwards the same way, actually walk forwards properly. So most people are lazy when they walk, but people are not taught that, right? Most people aren't taught proper things even when they're growing up, and no disrespect to their parents, but they're not taught to sun gaze. They're not taught about the three God manifests. They're not taught about the as is above, so is below, and they've not read the right books to read, right? And again, I teach this in my online course, but today, for example, is Saturn Day, and all days are named after planets, right? So yeah, I guess, as I said, I just wanted to keep this, short and sharp today. But as I said, the Orion constellation is a real thing, because Betelgeuse, I think I mentioned before, one of the major stars in that constellation, is due to become a supernova. And when that does, and I foresee that happening with the next 1,000 years, which may not affect us directly in our lives, but it may well affect our children or children's children, or it may happen, in 6 months, it may happen in 6 years. I actually don't know. But when it does, it means that but there is talk of it happening sooner rather than later, which means that we'll have 4 weeks of daylight and no sun, no day, night, no night at all, which means that will affect, so many things, because it'll be 3 times bigger than the sun. But the other issue is we have Nibiru, which is also due to come, right? And when Nibiru comes, that's going to affect ocean currents. It's going to affect so many things as well. So much more energy is going to come to Earth, right? And it's Earth is changing. It is changing, which is going to also affect the Ring of Fire, as you know. So we're having the new norm, as I said, is more earthquakes, which is not caused by the deep state, by the way, necessarily. More, tsunamis, which may become bigger in various zones, and more, probably more rain and more storms. And the population is reducing, but eventually we will see the tectonic plates shift. So people need to be aware of all these things, right? So that's why, again, I say to these people, and I make no money from this. Like, I say, don't download the Volcano app, because you can, download the tectonic plate resolution app, which I paid $2.99 for, and download one of the earthquake apps. And again, they're not my apps, but I just download them, right, just to keep an eye on things, so you see to stay informed. And this is not lies, it's not conjecture, this is real, right? This is really happening. So people can either bury their heads in the sand, or take some positive action steps to make sure that them and their families are safe over the next 20 years, right? So I don't say these things just for fun and just for hearsay, just to make myself more popular, Sharon. I'm just saying that this is the reality we live in. And as I said, corruption is rife, as you know, but we can't focus on corruption. We can't focus on broken promises from broken, political parties that say certain things. And I'm just not going to even go there, right, with things that people are talking about. So, as I said, if and when the suns and Betelgeuse and other planetary systems, are supercharging Earth, this may in fact shut down some electrical grids, which means that your debit card and your credit cards won't work because the electricity grids will be fried. So what do people use then, Sharon? Especially if cash is stopped.
Yeah,
So I'm just
that's what we
saying,
need to fall
have
back on these systems
yeah.
that we're
I'm
creating.
just saying, yeah. So just
Yeah.
be sensible and have some backup options. If for 6 months that you have to use an alternative, you know, you have to think outside the square these days, right? So I'm saying, what can you do? Do you have some, old, pieces of silver, like even some silver cutlery? Have you got something that's, some old gold rings? But again, I was saying, you don't want to swap a rich, gold ring for a loaf of bread, because it's not, it hasn't got the same value. But you might swap that for 3 bikes and if you need a bike for you and your children, or to get around, because you can't fill up your car with diesel and petrol, because again, thinking logically, long term, right? So or midterm, in the next sort of 5 years, if you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's just sort of things I wanted to say to people today, just to realize that not all is lost, not all is broken. The sun will rise again tomorrow, and so will the moon, and Mother Earth is still alive, and there are people that are still alive and well, right? So it's not all doom and gloom and woe is me, right? Because I see these people who shouldn't be woe is me attitude. You should be positivity, goodness, love, kindness, and then these things will manifest in your lives, right? So I guess that's just really to a point. And if people need help, just tell them to come and see me for an online session, or come see me on the Sunshine Coast, right? I don't hide from anybody anymore,
Yeah,
because what's the point? What's the point in hiding, right? So
exactly. And look at you at the moment, you're absolutely glowing with energy. You can see the aura surrounding you. So, and I can attest to having gotten energy from you before, and just how much of a difference that made. Like, it was incredible. So I would
yeah,
highly
just
recommend
just
just
put, if
even
you
a
don't mind,
session.
just put one hand up now. I'll just show you. Just put one hand up. What does that feel like?
I can feel it in my hand. I'm really sensitive to energy as well. So
Yes.
that's incredible. That's electromagnetic. We are electromagnetic beings, so
Well, we
it
are. We
perfectly
are.
makes
Yes.
sense. So, wow, that's incredible. Like, we do Reiki through we're able to do all sorts of stuff like that. Energy work but that feels amazing. Yeah. Thank you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Absolutely. Or let's do the other hand while we're here. May as well do
Yes,
the other
yeah.
hand.
We've got to even it out. Got to even it out.
We do. But as I said, I can do this for people online, but I just wanted to demonstrate and then just show
Can feel it
that it's very
here.
possible. Right?
I can feel it here coming through.
It should start to travel up your arm now.
Yeah. And this is my left hand, the one I use all the time. I'll be writing that book today.
How does that feel now?
Good, good, good. I'm feeling the energy.
Wonderful.
And for most people
I'm
to go
I'm
like this.
extremely pleased. Yes, I know, right?
Yeah. And you can feel the bowl on the in-between.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, right? I can actually see it when you do that. I can see some light between your hands when you're doing that, right?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I can see it. Can you see that?
Yeah.
I can
Oh,
see the
well,
light coming. Ah,
and you can make it bigger.
you can.
This is a
I can
ball
I
of
can I can
energy.
see I can see the light you're pulling through your hands now. I can see it.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Me too.
That's fantastic. But as I said, I just
Oh,
wanted to have a beautiful chat today with you, Sharon, because you're a wonderful person, and the people, just need to be more peaceful, more loving, and
yeah.
kind to each other, because there's just so much angst in the world.
Yeah, a little too much. A little too much.
A
But
little
yeah,
little too much.
what you were
Yeah.
saying about like being creators, we are the creators of our world.
We
And
are right.
we can
Yeah.
focus it any way we want. And when we realize that
Yes.
we've got that power within us, and when you realize what
Absolutely.
you have manifested, moving it into something
Yes.
better and greater, turn off the news, turn
Yes.
off
Yes.
the negative
Yes.
Nancy's that you've got in your life, or tell them to
Yes.
turn themselves off and
And
start
stay
focusing
around.
on the positive
Yeah,
things.
stay around positive people. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Not
And
not 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 negative Nancy's. Yeah. So sorry
yeah,
if I upset a Nancy, but negative people is what I'm saying. You know what I'm
yeah, sorry, Nancy.
saying. Well, lovely chat as always, Sharon, and have a
Yep,
beautiful afternoon.
you
And
too.
I'll see you for our next podcast.
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Have fun. Many blessings.
You too. Bye.